A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David. I was just a little bit on the late side because I was looking at the tide tables for Colfie, who are only 150 miles to go to Marsden. In fact, I was thinking they'd get in there at a civilised time to Opua, but they're going to Marsden. I, in fact, thought they were going to Opua, and they've only got 150 to go, but a bit more to get to Marsden. Their current position is 33.17 south and 17444 east. They're on a course of 140 magnetic, 4.5 knots motoring. They clearly want to get there. They've got 11 knots from the northeast here. We've got a north wind down here at the moment. 1.5 metre swell, 9-second swell, and 15% cloud cover. So pretty nice conditions, really. They've had a bit of everything on this trip. Here at Gulf Harbour, currently, we have 3 knots of northerly wind, 1024 on the bar. It's 17 degrees, but cooling down pretty quickly. 85% cloud cover. It's sort of thin stratus, boring-looking stuff. So I'm not expecting to be out sunbathing tomorrow. And whilst I've got the reports here, Pogean, they're still looking at Minerva late Friday. They are at 2711 south and 179 degrees 43 east on a course of 023 true at 8.1. 90% cloud cover, 18 knots from the east-southeast, but the seas are getting a bit mucky after the wind has backed a bit from the southeast. So it's 2 metre seas southeast still, but very disorganised and messy. So that's them. Nancy Clare have arrived and enjoying Pangamoto at the moment. So that's all good. And I notice there's a few boats zeroing in on Fiji. Cell Citron is and another Australian boat, Saboteur, are all but there. Moyne is a bit further south, but they'll be in protection from what looks like pretty strong winds, 25 to 30 knots around the area. Then further down is Gracias, Tina of Ponce, and I have got the pronunciation right at last. And then further south we have Intrepid around the outcrop. It's a really interesting outcrop. I was looking at them because they are kindly making sure they're not too far from Ostrika, but they are around about, they're a fishing trawler, a 30-metre outcropping from what is mostly 1,500 to 2,000 metres. So really it's an interesting area for fishing. And then we have Ostrika. Those two are doing an absolute amazing job down there. At the moment they are doing 4.5 knots on a course of 354, and they're at 20 degrees 38 south and 176, and the rest of it is underneath a Chinese fishing boat, but that will do. 20 degrees and 176 east. I think they just an amazing job of managing to steer the boat with the broken steering cable and no autopilot. They're going to be tired puppies when they get there, but boy, they'll be proud of what they have managed to do. Okay, let's go to Zeppo, Gulf Harbour.
Receiving Gulf Harbour loud and clear this evening. My current position is 22 degrees 49 minutes south, 176 degrees 52 minutes west. COG is 040 degrees true. SOG 5.5 knots. The wind is east-southeast, 20 knots. It's come forward of the beam, so it's now pretty hard yakka. Quite a lot of sea breaking over the boat. So the next 150 miles will be a bit of hard work, but expect to get into the Agria Channel entrance tomorrow evening. Swell's about 2.5 to 3 metres cloud cover 60%, and I noticed there's a bit of cirrus and cirrostratus around, so maybe the front or something like that on its way. Over.
A stunning signal again from you tonight, Grant. It's a very good radio setup you've got on Zeppo. 22 degrees 49 south and 176 degrees 52 west, heading to Tongatapu there. 040 true at 5.5 knots. He has east-southeast 20, which is a little bit of a problem going to there, but only 150 miles to go. The seas are 2.5 to 3 metres and cloud cover 60%. So bit of water around. I'll pass the microphone to let David tell you hopefully some good news.
Okay. How are you doing? And it sounds like you're doing pretty good except for slamming into those wet seas. Anyway, no worries on troughs or fronts. Nothing to go over Nuku'alofa until about Monday the 23rd. I'll be talking about that in a minute. But prior to that, you should be fine with regard to fronts. So that's all I've got. Other than your arrival is tomorrow, Friday, and to me it's east to east-southeast, the winds, and from what I could see, that's, I would say, sorry, my computer is...
Speak up loud so you can't be heard.
I would say gusts up to about 26, 28 knots, east-southeast. Nuku'alofa, looking at, well, actually, Fulamota, the airport there, you never get a really good feel for what the weather is doing at that airport location. I've noticed over the years. They're calling off 8 knots at 120 degrees. So barometric pressure, by the way, 1021, and that was 21 minutes ago, coming from the airport. So wouldn't rely on that for the actual sea conditions or winds in the open water. So a little bit more wind for you tomorrow, I'm afraid. But hopefully you'll get in and be happy chappy. So with that, here's the chief.
Well, it doesn't sound too bad, Grant, so I hope all goes well with the arrival, over.
Yeah, sorry, we might have talked over the top of each other. Not too worried about the weather. I was just wondering about the Igria Channel on the western side of Tongatapu, about negotiating that at night. Over.
Oh, we take the eastern.
Yes, in fact, we've never taken the Western Channel. We've taken the Eastern one. I presume you're doing the Western one because of the winds on the other side. So unless there's somebody, is there anybody on a frequency? Actually, oh God, they're not on the radio. I was going to say Nancy Clare has just taken the Western side, I think. So is there anybody on the radio that can give any advice of the Western approach to Tongatapu? At night, please call now. Silhouette, good evening, Phil. Go ahead. I'll just check with Grant. Can you copy Silhouette, over?
Yeah, I can hear loud and clear, over.
Okay, Phil, go ahead.
Yes, a few years ago I entered that channel at night. That was a non-issue, over. Oh, good, that's encouraging. Thank you, over. Yeah, just get your waypoint. The charts I was using were navionics charts, and the soundings were good. I just made my waypoints and followed around that first island into the main harbor. Awesome, I'll do the same. Thank you very much. Over.
Yeah, isn't radio good for this sort of thing? And it's also good for you and Soy Libra to have got together to go lobstering. Did you catch any, Phil? Over.
Negative, we pull up a big zero. Over.
Well, you've got the local expert, Pogian, Rich and Michelle are arriving late Friday, so you'll just have to hang around a bit. He is Well, he's been there so many times, and he is the one that wrote the paper that we've got on the website on Flotsam to tell you where to go. But yep, he's coming, and he's really, really a good person to have in Minerva when you are. So just stand by for his arrival. And thanks for that information. While I've got you, and before I go to Mintaka, what's it like in Minerva at the moment?
Oh, let me pull up my chart. Hold on a second. Okay, current wind is 20 knots out of the southeast. The barometer is 1025.
Cloud cover?
Anything else you need to know, over?
Yep, cloud cover.
Oh, I haven't seen the sun all day today. It's kind of overcast. Oh.
All right, overcast. Yep, that'll be interesting. Hang on, here's David.
Yeah, thanks for that. And I'm looking at satellite imagery as usual, and I can see that yes, it would be overcast. The high rain clouds are just to the north of Minerva at the moment. In fact, the closest one to you is at 23 degrees 26 minutes, so a little bit further to the north than you are. So that's good. It is expected to slide east, so hopefully you'll just get the lower clouds, quite a bit of cloud cover actually around this. I guess you would call it a trough, although nobody is picking it up as one, but you can see it very clearly on satellite. So anyway, thank you very much. Nothing like a report for somebody that's there.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. All right, let's go to Mintaka, US. Mintaka, Gold Harbour Radio.
Mintaka here. Hot copy.
Actually, pretty good copy tonight, Mark. Go ahead.
Okay, Mintaka is at 25 degrees 12 minutes south, 179 degrees 12 minutes west. Course of 008, speed of about 7 knots. We have a good 50% or more cloud cover. We have about maybe 2 meter seas from the southeast. And let's see. Oh yeah, the wind is about 20 knots from a little south of east. Over.
Okay, we'll make that east-southeast for the wind. And Mintaka is at 2512 south, 17912 west, on a course of 008 true at 7 knots, 50% cloud cover, 2 meters southeast seas, and 20 knots of east-southeast wind. Anything more from you? Oh, probably David's going to cover that when he finally gets the microphone. So I take it all is well on board for you both, over?
Oh yes, all is well. We're obviously anxious to get into Minerva. Just wondering if the wind will back in the effect.
Okay, so I'll talk about the wind in Minerva. They are at, well, you just heard, 25 on 179, so getting pretty close. Just stand by.
Well, this is the general forecast. I'm not sure if is that right? Is that what you want me to do?
Well, you can do that and do the Minerva at the same time.
Okay, well, hello to all of our listeners on this very cloudy afternoon. It certainly is. Our nice high is certainly moving off, and we will miss the nice bright days that we've had earlier in the week. It's going to be a shame to see that high moving off. Now, by lunch Friday, tomorrow, the high center will have moved to near 32 south and 170 west. That's 32 and 170 west. As we said yesterday, For Friday, the high's southwest corner is going to clash with the new oncoming high, and we see a depression forming. And that's just north of Norfolk Island. By Saturday, the 21st, 21st, the depression moves east to about 28 south and 175 west. As a result, winds from Minerva to this depression will shift to the north or northeast, depending upon where you happen to be. And also on Saturday, winds from Minerva to Fiji or Nuku'alofa will turn to the northeast. That's Saturday, so that's good for the yacht that's coming in on Friday. Now, by midnight Saturday, the depression that I just talked about moves to 31 south and the dateline. Now, it's well wound up with the strongest winds on the southwest quarter. So those yachts that are near that location, be prepared for 25 up to 40 knots in gusts, and seas in that quarter can be expected to 4 meters. And for those in Minerva, by early Sunday morning, you could expect a frontal band to pass over the reefs. So expect plenty of rain. Thunderstorms are shown, and gusts to gale force. So plenty of scope, and all will be fine to those that are there. We know we've done it. And here's the chief.
Yeah, I was just looking at Mintaka, and the GFS is pretty accurate at the moment because that's all I've got on my AIS. So I was going hour by hour to see when the wind would back on their passage, because they're pretty well due south of Minerva at the moment. But yeah, tomorrow morning it looks like about 10 o'clock you'll have the wind quite a nuisance, east-northeast, if this is going to be correct. But so yeah, make the most of between now and about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, because then you will definitely have it east-northeast. If the GFS is to be relied upon, David will probably be scrutinising what I've just said and making a comment in a minute. So there you go. Is there any other comment, first of all, from Mintaka? Roger that. Is there anybody else on air wanting to make contact with anybody or us? Please call.
Yeah, great signal here in Port Vila. Over.
Yeah, you're romping in too. There's been some fantastic. Well, you usually do romp in, Barney, but not so much in the morning on 20 metres. But yes, Zeppo had an outstanding signal tonight, and everyone was pretty good actually. So, yep, time you got out of there and started exploring. You must be sick of Port Vila by now. It'd be interesting to see after all the earthquake. Is it still a bit broken down, or has everything been renewed and resealed and etc. Over?
Yeah, well, you covered it all, Trish, anyway. So, anyway, going to start moving and going to go west and hope to work you. There's a couple boats going to Thursday Island. But anyway, great signal. You're 5 and 6. So I'll just be standing by. 8 megs works great.
Yeah, it certainly does. It'd be interesting to see how far we can track you with 8 megs. All right, we'll clear with Ocean Fever. Is there anybody else? No, nothing heard. We'll leave you all in peace tonight then. And a special greeting to Ostrika there, doing really, really well. And we will be back again, of course, tomorrow. This is Gulf Harbour Radio Clear. And, Well, have a good night, everybody.